Morning, morning, welcome back. If you didn't catch the start of the mini-series yesterday, feel free to have a quick look back on that post before you get started today. There's a link in the comments so you can get straight in. Yesterday's challenge was really focused around stripping away some of the emotional aspects of resistance to help you get to the nub of the problems your people are reacting to. Now, some of the feedback we had and some of the comments that you will see was around capacity. So we know that a key trigger for resistance is, and we know when it becomes really vocal and visible, is often lots of change hitting at the same time. More importantly, and more impactfully, it hits the same people at the same time. And we have repeat offenders, and people can feel trapped and overwhelmed all at the same time. Um, but I guess we know how it goes. We can see it in our organisations. Just one more thing. It's only small. It'll be quick. It's not that different. We know you've got loads on. And we try and explain it away. But realistically, no matter how much we explain it, asking people to do things differently, consistently, means they're likely to exceed their ability to cope with the changes in hand. Being asked to think and do differently all the time is actually really, really hard. And we get to a point where we can't cope and we dig our heels in and walls go up and we create a real environment that's anti-change. And we start to see resistance become vocal and starts to become a problem. So today's task is to help you to get closer to the volume and scale of impacts across your organisation and into your people. We're going to use a really, really basic heat map to do this. The oldies are always the goodies. So let's not reinvent the wheel. And the example that I'm going to talk you through now is basically a 4x4 grid. And it's going to call out impact and likelihood. You can see an example of this in the comments, so feel free to print and steal, or do your own. When we talk about impact, we mean the type or the scale of change individuals or teams are exposed to. So depending on how much you know about what's going on or what is happening across your organisation, what people are worrying about, it will skew a little bit how you use it. So just play around, have a go. It's not an exact science, it's just a visual to try and help you understand what you're up against. So if you want to focus on a single change today, then it's really, really simple. So identify either a person or a team, identify their impact. So the ask on them to do differently, one being low or normal, really indirect. Four being whole scale whopping change that's relatively painful or at least projected. The likelihood in this instance is the time. So an impact of that change happening, was it really going to affect them? So in this case, 4 would be like imminent, so it's happening this week, tomorrow, short time scales. 1 or closer out to 1 will be towards the end of your project or change life cycles. So it skews slightly depending on how you look at it. When you've got those two numbers, plot your person or plot your team on the grid. If you want to look at the org-wide change, then it's probably easy to do it on a team-by-team basis, just to avoid trying to be too granular too quickly. But you'll need to have a total view of your organisation's change. So you'll need to know a little bit more about what you're up against. But we're going to follow ultimately the same principles. High impact, lots of change affecting the team. Low impact is likely to be indirect change or low-level change affecting that team. And the timescales work in the same way. So an imminent change is your 4s, and a pushed out projected change is likely to be closer to 1. When you've got everybody plotted, today's challenge is to identify a way to improve the status of anybody who sits in that top corner in one of the red or orange boxes. You want to identify something, anything that can reduce the impact or the likelihood, so we can start to bring them down into the softer, greener, more yellower areas. Now, there will be heaps and heaps of things that you can do that are unique to your organisation, bespoke to the person, perfect for the change. But there's one thing that I will give you for free: slow down what you can. If you can increase the time to impact, to give space for those affected to feel more secure, to learn, to understand what they need to know, and to feel more stable, to get some nice anchors, you will be able to improve their outlook and their change experience. But that is it. Off you go. Find your people, understand their change, and let's see what we can do. And I will see you all tomorrow.